Thank y'all for tuning in to this video. My name is Jessica, and this is the Jessica Diaries. It's been a blackety black news cycle. Shoot, for the last 2 weeks, I have seen story after story after story involving the black community. If it ain't voting rights or the NAACP asking athletes to boycott, to being assaulted by police officers, misidentified by AI, data centers in our neighborhoods. There is so much going on pertaining to the black community that we need to be talking about when we're not online. We need to talk about these things in real life. We need to have these conversations. We need to spread these stories. I do believe in being prepared. I believe in staying aware, especially if you are a parent. Okay. And I'm a parent, I'm a mom of three. And we see through this news cycle between Rick Chow and what's happening in Texas with Carmelo Anthony and his trial, we got to start having some serious conversations about what protection for us looks like in every aspect of our lives. I'm the vibe killer. My husband always be talking about me. He say, Jessica, you got to have a balance. You got to talk about other things. Like, everybody is just not talking about this all the time. And my point is, that's the problem. Like, we talking about Jay-Z and Diddy and a sex tape, and people are walking free for killing black children. As if Samir Rice wasn't enough. As if Trayvon Martin wasn't enough. As if Emmett Till wasn't enough. We continue to see these things happening, and all I'm saying is it's time for us to do something different. And it's up to us to figure out what that is. And we can't tell it on the internet. So that's why I'm saying take all this information in and go talk about this at home with your family, your friends, your village, your loved ones. It's getting real out here, y'all. And it ain't really got nothing to do with Trump. Now, he may have emboldened some people, but this stuff, all the people before us experienced this. The question is, how long are we going to continue to accept it? So, having said all of that, let's talk about this story. A lot of people are talking about this verdict. A lot of people are talking about the circumstances of this case. But I haven't seen anyone bring in this key witness who testified. And that's something that I want to focus on, and because she said some really important things. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what I'm seeing. This is a story from USA Today. It was published June 2nd, 2026. Today is Friday, June 5th, 2026. And the title is Shop Owner Found Not Guilty of Murder in 2023 Shooting of Black Teen. Now, you've probably seen there have been a lot of people creating content around this story, specifically Asians. There are a lot of Asian men and women coming out talking about this story. I've seen some who have been outright disrespectful, and I've seen others who are trying to talk to their people so they people can understand. Now, for the most part, they do okay, but there are some things that I feel like they just still don't get. But I'm bringing that up because one of the creators, I cannot remember her name, but I saw her TikTok on YouTube. She had brought up the fact that this was from 2023. She was trying to make it seem like, oh, why are they putting this verdict out now to further divide Asians and black people, and black people are divided on this and that, and just think about it. Why would they do this? And I'm just like, girl, we know that trials take time. That's really not the issue here. I feel like a lot of people are missing the mark on their commentary and forgetting that this was a child. A grown man murdered a child and got away with it. That is what this story is about. He murdered a black child and got away with it. And again, the key witness is going to say what I have been thinking this entire time. But I want to read a little bit of this article so that we have a baseline of understanding, like we're all on the same page here. So it reads, the convenience store owner who shot a 14-year-old boy in the back after chasing him out of the store in 2023 was acquitted of murder by a South Carolina jury. I guess it's Chai Key, I don't know. Rick Chow, now 61, was found not guilty by the jury on June 1st on one count of murder. Chow's defense attorneys argued he shot the boy, Cyrus Carmack-Belton, to defend his adult son when the teen pointed a gun at him. Prosecutors said Chow chased Cyrus out of the store because he believed the boy had stolen water bottles, and said Cyrus never brandished a weapon. So this happened in Columbia, South Carolina, May 28th, 2023, over Memorial Day weekend. And honestly, that was 3 years ago? I don't remember ever hearing this story. So I think that's a lot of the reason why people are talking about it so much. It's not a conspiracy that the verdict happened in 2026. It's just that people have not previously heard about this story. I think that the witness kind of confirmed that in the interview that she had with the news following the verdict. She talked about how she didn't think that this case would get all of this attention. So that's something that we need to think about too. And it's a call to other creators out there who follow the news, who follow Black news. We need to stay on these local stories. Like, we can't rely on the mainstream media, national networks to cover these. When we hear of something that happens in our community, we need to amplify that. That's the space that we're moving in. I would love to see our creators move away from so much gossip and entertainment and talk about these real things and spread the word. Even though we got our issues with religion and Christianity and what it has and has not done for our people and to our people, everything works out for our good for those of us who are called according to the Lord. So this story, though it is tragic, it is sad, it will make you angry, what I do see is unification happening. Even if in thought that, look, what we've been doing ain't working. And that's a start. So this happened in 2023 over Memorial Day weekend. His defense attorney made an interesting comment. He said that the family was pleased with the decision. He said, quote, "It's tragic. I feel sorry for the family," Swirling told reporters. "My heart goes out to them, but 14-year-old kids should not be roaming the streets of Columbia, South Carolina with semi-automatic pistols loaded and ready to fire." That was your response after this man was found not guilty of killing a child. But my heart goes out to them, but 14-year-old kids shouldn't be roaming the streets of Columbia, South Carolina. Like, excuse me, this child is dead. And according to the evidence, he wasn't pointing a gun at them. You're trying to put out this false narrative and demean this young man, even in his death. You couldn't just take your W and go as the attorney. You had to do your racist dog whistle so the roaches would come out. That's horrible. So here's what happens. And I like to do the news article. The videos are cool, but we also got to read too, because there are a lot of things that videos miss. So according to USA Today, what happened in the 2023 shooting? Authorities have said that Cyrus entered a Shell gas station Express Mart convenience store at about 8 p.m. on May 28, 2023. The boy picked up 4 water bottles from a cooler but put them back, Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott said at the time. Chow suspected him of shoplifting and there was a verbal altercation, officials said. Chow and his son chased the boy out of the store and off the store property for about 130 yards. Just so you know, a football field is 120 yards. They chased him for 130 yards. This is over water bottles that they think this 14-year-old boy might have stolen. Most people, especially 61-year-olds, are not going to chase a child for more than the length of a football field over a water bottle. That sounds like rage. Just like what we saw with that officer assaulting Sherry Moore in North Carolina. This sounds like rage. Like you just couldn't be stopped. Why are you and your son running this young man down like that? So it says that Cyrus fell at one point during the chase, but he got up and kept going. As he was running away, Chow shot him in the back. A gun was found near Cyrus's body, but the sheriff said at the time that the boy did not point it or brandish it before he was shot. He was shot once in the back. So, do we even know that that was his gun? They keep bringing up this gun. Do we know that that was even his? People have been protesting at the gas station, and I did see in another article that Chow no longer owns this gas station. This was at the time in 2023 here in this picture, but in this other article, and I'm gonna go ahead and share this tab, there is a statement from the new owners basically saying like, hey, he doesn't own this store anymore. We don't have nothing to do with that. They want to make it clear they have nothing to do with that. And I feel like that's really insensitive too. Like, not that I'm saying that I think that they should be okay with their property getting vandalized or whatever. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that they're really trying to distance themselves. And they said that they asked that their privacy be respected. And the owner is called Umang Patel. So we know what the ethnicity of those whose last name is Patel. And it's just like these businesses come into our communities and want nothing to do with us that does not involve us handing over money to them. We need to wake up. We need to wake up. So, having said that, people are calling for a boycott on Asian businesses. That is what has this verdict has produced, because of course people are going online making their videos saying their opinion about it, and black people feel like, you know what, we just need to stop going in their store because this case should have been a slam dunk. And if they're gonna kill black kids and get away with it, but you make it your point to be in our communities and our neighborhoods, then you got to get up out of here. And if you won't leave, if you're so scared, if you so worried about stealing, if you won't leave and go to your own community and serve them, then we got to get you up out of here another way. We'll just stop going. So that's what a lot of black people are saying, and Asians are responding. You have some that are outright disrespectful. You have some that are understanding and support the boycott. You have others who are trying to pretend like this ain't what it is. They want to make it elite tactic to divide all the people. Well, yeah, that might be true, but this is also just good old fashioned racism that has always been practiced. Let's call it what it is. So I want to go to this witness, her reaction to the verdict and everything that's happening. And after that, we'll watch the press conference, or it was a memorial for Cyrus that his mom spoke at. We're going to talk about that and then we'll wrap it up. But I just want to say, like, he looks a lot like Trayvon Martin. Obviously, he has longer hair. He's a little bit more light skinned, but he looks very similar to Trayvon Martin. And it's just so sad that this young man's life was taken. Like, people do not understand. I hate racism so much. I hate it so much because it is like it is the sin of all sins. It is so evil what it has done and what it continues to do. It is so pervasive. It is an evil spirit. Racists are mentally ill. They are possessed to justify the things that we continue to see happen. We have lost our leaders. They have lost their lives. And it angers me. It frustrates me that I feel like at large, the black community has just accepted this. And this is no way to live, to be in fear of being hunted. This goes all the way back to when black folks were being lynched. And it's just like, how many times are we going to live this story out? How many families are going to have to go through this? I'm over it. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm over it. She brings up something that was a very sobering fact. It's something that I know and understand, but I do feel like it's going to take more people seeing it happen at this level for them to truly get it. But let's hear what the witness has to say.
You witnessed something so tragic, so horrific. How has this experience changed you as a person?
Definitely keeping my eyes open, watching my surroundings, and honestly, it showed me how the justice system is so messed up. Especially seeing how all the evidence have been presented. All of us witnesses, we have all said the same thing. The medical examiner, I mean, just everything was right there. The videos from the store, everything was right there. And just to come back and say not guilty, that was a child at the end of the day. That it really changed me as in to realize that our justice system, it's a lot of work that needs to be done. And especially in South Carolina has a real problem on their hands. And some change is going to have to be made.
Let me ask you about this as well. There's been a lot of debate and commentary online about the case. I mean, you said you've received some, you've seen it. Is there anything you wish people understood about what you witnessed or your experience as a witness?
I want people to understand that, that's my first time ever seeing somebody get shot, especially in close range, and especially seeing that it was a child. Also to the simple fact that I've seen the comments of some people saying that I really didn't see the shooting, because in my 911 call, as I called 911. And I
Okay.
did see the
Before we go any further, I just want to touch on it. She's talking about how all the evidence was there. The medical examiner said the same thing. The witnesses said the same thing. This should have been a no-brainer. Now, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know like legal strategy. Like, because some people are saying, well, it's the charge that they went for. It was an all or nothing type thing, so you couldn't reasonably expect them to find him guilty. I don't know if that's where the breakdown in the victory happened, but it's something that we need to look at. Also, where is our Black legal class? Where are the Black attorneys to speak out on this, to represent people, to call attention to these things, to get legislation, class action lawsuits? Like, this has to stop. And it's like, I've been doing my research for this story, but like, my son is really, really tall and he has big hair. He's only 9, right? But he's just, his demeanor, he lanky, skinny, wears his hoodies and Crocs and jeans. And just seeing Cyrus in that store with that woman, questioning him with her hunchback ass, like, I saw my son. And this is the reason why when I found out I was having a boy, my first pregnancy, I cried. Bro, I cried because I was just kind of coming into my awareness of what was really going on. It took me getting all the way to grad school to have a grasp. Like, I went to school at HBCU. They focus on the history. They focus on the accomplishments. But that dirty, nasty research history, the ugly stuff, I didn't really get into that until I got into grad school and was studying media history. So finding out that I was having a boy, it made me sad because I knew that he would be profiled. I knew that he could potentially face very dangerous and violent situations just because he would be a young Black man. And that is what racism has done and why I hate it so much. That's what it's done. It's stolen the joy of having a child because you know what that child is going to face. Does it take away the joy? No, but it does steal a little bit of it. And that's so fucking unfair. And I'm over it. I'm really over it. But just to see that young man's shoes and just knowing that he's not here, that's the last time that he was seen alive in that way, is just so horrible. So horrible at 14. And you heard her say how messed up the justice system serving on this jury on this case made her realize that she needs to watch her surroundings and watch where she's going. And that's what kind of brings us to everybody talking about the boycott. Saying that, you know what, this is a pattern. This is another high profile killing where the killer gets off for killing a Black child. We know the racist white people do it. We know we deal with this, but y'all are coming into our neighborhoods, monopolizing the business industries in our neighborhoods while at the same time saying you're so afraid of us. Why are you here? Like Jocelyn say, "Ho, why are you here? Go." You choose to open up shop, taking opportunities from other Black business owners, taking opportunities from Black people who might want to open up a business in their own community. They locked out of it because of y'all. I'm all for a boycott. I think it needs to be organized. I think it needs to have an outcome. I think it needs to come with suggestions of how people can participate, how people can talk about the importance of this. We got to stay on our people's necks now. Like, if we're going to do this, we need to do it and show them, because I'm not going to show those videos here. You can find them on TikTok and YouTube of these Asian folks being disrespectful, daring us to boycott them, saying, please boycott us. Make your own food. Go open up your own liquor store. That's what they're saying. Not realizing that y'all here because of us, because of our ancestors. And it's time that we put our foot down and show that we do have some type of dignity and self-worth, that we not going to take this. But I do want to continue because she brings up another point that I think we need to also be aware of when we're talking about strategy, when we're talking about walking down the street and staying safe. In my last video, I shared how Black people would get lynched because somebody had a bad day. This is no different. This is the same type of thing because you're not going to tell me you're going to chase a 14-year-old child who the police said he did not brandish a weapon at you. He never even showed a weapon. We don't even really know if that was his gun for real. But you chased him the length of more than a football field. He fell, got up to run, and you shot him in his damn back. You and your son, both of y'all grown, but y'all also scared of us. You hunted that young man and you walked away. So let's finish. I'm not gonna do the whole video. It might go into to the end, but she brings up some of the criticism that she's been facing online as being part of this jury, and she brings up a point that I think we need to be thinking about.
Shooting, of course, I said, I think I saw, but you have to understand, I was in shock. So when you're in shock, you're trying to process exactly what you just saw. Like my eyes, I'm looking like I think I know that's not what I think I'm seeing right now, especially when I'm really looking at it and I'm trying to process like, oh my God, this is really happening in front of me. So I want people to understand, like, I was in shock and I've never witnessed nothing like that before. So that's a lot emotionally on me because that's something that once again, I have to live with. I have to, you try to push it to the back of your head not to think about it, but this is something that you cannot think about. I seen a grown man just shoot a child in the back on my way of taking my family who was in town visiting me out to eat.
So, like she said, she was getting a lot of criticism, and people were trying to say that she was not credible because she was saying, I think, or, the way that she described the situation. And that's something that I've never thought about before I heard her say that. Like, you're in a situation where you shocked. It's not like you're used to violence. I'm not used to violence, seeing somebody get shot, seeing somebody pull out a weapon. I'm not used to that. So of course, if I see it, it's a child and these grown men. I'm at the store, my family up. Like, it's a chaotic situation. And so it just shows me that maybe we do need to invest in dash cams. We do need to wear GoPros. We do need to be documenting. We need to go in twos in these stores if we have to go into. We are going to have each other's back and have our documentation so that when these things arrive, we can know without a doubt that we have the facts. I don't know how much difference it'll make with the current justice system the way that it is, but it will give us that leg to stand on if we need it. So that's something that we need to be thinking about. This is just an all around very terrible situation. And I want to put it out there that Clyburn, who is the longtime Democratic representative, has not made a statement about this. He's a representative for South Carolina's 6th congressional district. He has not made a statement on this. So you got all these things converging. You got racism, anti-blackness. You have racial profiling. You have just the general, I'm racist, I don't like black people, even though I'm in a community trying to take their money. You got that. Then you have the bias, the racial bias, the profiling. You have the immigration issue, because let's be clear, Black Americans through the Civil Rights Act paved the way for immigration and for people to enjoy what they have now in America. And I have always said their American dream is our nightmare. And it has always been that way. Always. Because you got to be prejudiced or racist or buy into the stereotypes, or at the least be okay with what happens to Black people to even immigrate here in the first place. By you even coming here. Forget why. It doesn't matter why. This ain't your home. This is not your country of origin. For you to even come over here, knowing the racial climate, you coming over here is your cosign of our nightmare. You're going to get your dream off of our nightmare. And we the ones that paved the way for you to be here. Just think about that. That is why I'm going to keep bringing it up in all my videos. That's why some Black people don't want to vote. That's why some Black people don't want to deal with this system. Why? Your own Black U.S. representative in South Carolina has not even made a statement on this. He made a statement on a verdict. Let's see if he made a statement back when it happened. I'm looking it up because I don't want to say he didn't if he did. Okay, he did issue a statement in 2023 when this happened. He issued a statement in 2023. I'll put it on the screen. He issued this statement in 2023 that he was horrified and deeply saddened by the senseless murder of 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack-Belton in Colombia this weekend. I haven't seen a statement from him since this verdict. So what does that tell you? As far as the boycott, you know, again, those videos are out there if you want to look at it. I already personally tried to do this. Like, really, y'all know my story. If you follow me at all, you know my story. COVID was a turning point for me from a political point of view, from a religious point of view, and just my social life and the way that I move around, my lifestyle. It was a huge turning point. It was a turning point for my awareness of what was going on and being able to see some things that I had never really seen clear eyed before. And so back then, I started my way of resisting. So I don't go in nail shops. I do my own nails. Like, I don't go in nail shops. I try my hardest not to go in beauty supply stores. There is one like that I like in the area because the people are really, really friendly. I always have been friendly, very nice. And so I like bite the bullet when I have to go there. But I've stopped patronizing businesses of people who don't care. And for me, is more than anything is you don't care what your store look like. You have it nasty, look in any kind of way. You turn your nose up at us. You act like our dollars don't mean nothing. Like, we gotta shop there. It's a lot of entitlement. I never see it cross, right? Like, Asians are always, not just Asians and Middle Easterns are always setting up their businesses and establishments in our communities, and you never give back. You don't even keep your store clean. So that for me, like, when I started to become more conscious and woke, I just said, you know what? I'm not supporting that. I will get my grass from Kroger. I don't care. I'll go to Sam's. I'm not going in that store. You don't even keep it clean. I'm not going in that store. And it's just the fact that you don't contribute anything. I don't ever see you sponsoring any sports activities, no giveaways. You're never doing anything nice. It's just a bare minimum. Bring me my money because I know I own this necessity that y'all need. You know, I own this necessity. So just come give me my money and you can go. It's horrible. Black people, let this be a lesson. We have no friends, y'all, because the Asians are daring us to boycott them. Now, again, like, going back to the boycott, I guess if we want to revisit that, we can talk about some solutions and some things just to give it some organization or to give you a starting point. So, black nail techs, where y'all at? Black owned beauty stores, black owned gas stations, where y'all at? It's time to amplify these black owned businesses so that we'll know where we need to go. That's it. This is a tragic story. Oh, before we go, I do want to go to his mother's statement because she said some very, very, like, heartbreaking things. Like, I felt the pain in her voice. I understand as a mom um why she talked and her rage. It was important that we heard from her. I really wish the dad would have spoke up. We see all the time where the women are the ones that are talking, and I don't know if this strategy again, but the men need to speak out too. Let these racist roaches know that y'all got y'all families, that y'all got y'all community. Speak up. Don't always let the women be the voice. They need to hear that dad's anger, that you took his baby boy, his legacy, his namesake, the one that's going to carry his family name. We want to hear from dad too, but let's listen to what his mother had to say.
Being here is very difficult. However, I am going to be Cyrus strong because my son was strong. My son was smart. He was loving. He was kind. I cannot believe that from the time he stepped into that store, as we all saw, he was racially profiled. They followed him around. He was shopping. He took four waters, he put them back. He even showed them by shaking his hoodie that he took nothing. And he walked out of the store. He didn't argue with them. He didn't have any confrontation. He didn't curse them. He just walked out. He was
And so that's another thing, because you have a lot of people that are like, don't say nothing, don't, like, y'all. It's nothing we can do to keep racists from being racist. It's no way that you can behave to make yourself more acceptable to them. Let's stop telling our people that. Now, when we are dealing with law enforcement, that's different. You definitely don't want to do anything to provoke that situation. Just, we got to be realistic. But when it comes to just your daily interaction with someone in the store, she's pointing out that he didn't even argue. He just turned around and walked away. And they still ran after him for more than the length of a football field and shot him in the back. And he didn't even steal nothing. The police said he didn't even brandish his weapon. So it's like, get it out of your head that you can behave your way out of being racially profiled, that you can behave your way out of a racist having a certain type of perception of you. We understand that white supremacy is our open enemy, but we often forget that white supremacy is an ideology. It's not a person. So you got white supremacists, you got Indian white supremacists, you got Asian white supremacists, you got black white supremacists. White supremacy is an ideology. And a lot of people have the issue with, well, they're not superior, they're not supreme. And I'm gonna tell you, like Dr. Neely Fuller says, yes, they are. Because you the one that died and they got away with it. That's supreme. If you get crazy with a police officer, they could shoot you and get away with it. That's supreme. That's what white supremacy is. It's an ideology. It's a power structure. It's not a person. It's a belief.
Was respectful, and yet two grown people chased him. He fell and they shot him. He shot him dead, like as if he was a dog. And I do not understand how that jury can come back and say that he was not guilty. He was in a runner stance. It was shown by the pathologist, and they said he was not guilty. It was devastating for me to get a call from Alvin S. Glenn letting me know that Rick Chow was released. That broke me more than you can ever imagine, because my murderer of my son was set free. And it's not fair and it's unjust. And nobody can tell me that this is not racially motivated, because I'm not supposed to be on social media anyway. But when I go and I look at my social media, I have racist people coming to my page, going under my son's pictures, leaving the most horrific things, saying that they're glad he's dead, good riddance.
And see, that's another thing. That is a problem. That is a problem online. I have experienced this. If you are a black person and you make content or you left a comment, you have experienced this. We black folks, we know what she's talking about. Every time these type of things happen, you got the roaches, the racist roaches come out and they say the most horrible, insensitive things. And it really, like, for me, I used to delete the stuff, but now I let it stay. Because number one, we are dealing with this dead internet theory. So we don't even know if these people are human, right? This could be some program that's been programmed to be racist and programmed to do these dog whistles and make these comments. I don't know. But it's just like, sometimes when you see those comments, you just like, dang, like, you really evil, bro. Like, you're not of this world, like this. Or maybe the Bible say they are of the world and they are their father, like they father Satan in hell. It's just, it's this is a problem I'm stopping it here, because again, this goes back to our so-called leaders, black politicians, NAACP. Where y'all at? Why doesn't the Black Caucus go so hard for the black community like AIPAC does for the Jewish community? You say something against Israel's, that video getting pulled, that comment getting deleted. You getting called a anti-Semitic, anti-Semite, however you go. Look at what happened to Kyrie Irving. Why is it that white folks and others, these racist people, can leave these comments to us and about us, this hate speech? This is why black Americans, black people need a specific hate crime bill. Remember, the agents got one and they the ones killing our kids.
And I am tired. I don't want this to happen to any other child. No black or brown child. You have to go through this. No parent.
And see, mama, she is grieving. Like, I feel her pain just through the screen. It's heartbreaking. But I gotta say this. Black and brown, baby, this is happening to black kids. Where is the brown when it's where the Browns at right now? Where the anybody seen the Browns? Have any of the Browns spoke out about this? Any of the Browns highlighting blacks when they're making their speeches? This is happening to us. Stop saying black and brown. This is happening to us. When you say that, you muddy the waters, and that's how we got here too. It's happening to us. The Browns doing it to us. It's happening to us. Let's eliminate that black and brown. Again, like I said, believe it or not, immigration is part of this issue too. This is part of this issue. This is why you got black people delineating. This is where FBA comes from. When you hear people constantly saying black and brown, but their allyship is not, we don't receive it. We don't receive it. Because remember, Asians are considered brown too, because the brown is supposed to represent people of color. Usually it's referring to Hispanic communities, but black and brown refers to people of color. You don't hear people saying black and yellow. You don't hear people saying black and pink, black and red. No, black and brown refers to people of color, which means Asians are included in it. Let's get that black and brown out. I got a personal story with the black and brown. Very quick, I got to say this because this also was part of my awakening back. Y'all know my story with that damn church. And I was talking to an Asian woman at the church, and she like tried to call me, I guess, to just try to make me feel better. Like, oh, I understand, this and this. And I was like, no, you don't understand. You're a minority and you don't have to worry about that. And she was like, oh, I never thought about the fact that I'm a minority. What? You Asian, ma'am? And that like, I'll never forget that. Because they don't consider themselves part of our people of color until they're trying to get something. It's never ally energy, ever. So we have to stop saying that. We have to be for real about what's going on with us so we can get something done. Because the brown, they got theirs. Hispanics and Asians. And all the other browns, they open up these businesses in our communities and we get nothing. So it's black, not black and brown, black.
Should have to go through this. This has to stop today. And I just learned today that South Carolina, if it's a murder charge, that they cannot bring in any of your prior acts. Rick Chow shot 2 people before. Rick Chow accosted a child in that store and beat her up with a gun on her hip. And none of that information could be brought to light. And I do not think that is fair. And if that is on the law books, that needs to be changed. Because if that was not there, then my son would have gotten justice. And to allow this person to terrorize this neighborhood for 12, 13 years is ridiculous. And
so apparently when he was the owner, because as I've said before, the new store owners have made it very clear they took over the store in 2023. He has nothing to do with it. And then you see too, like, sells the store and then the Indian come by it. Like, black people are cut out of that process. And one of the Asians that was, daring us to boycott, he was basically saying, we work and we come here and work and we came with nothing. They love that lie. Like, y'all ain't getting business loans. Like, black people aren't discriminated against. Like, y'all haven't locked up this market. I don't know of one black-owned gas station in my area. That's why I go to Kroger. I don't know of one. So how is it that y'all are outworking us? Y'all have a monopoly. Y'all got a monopoly on this shit. Like, let's be for real. So this person, what happened at this store. What happened at this store. Why would you want to come in and shut up shop? Like, how would that even be attractive to you? Like, ooh, let me come in and take money from that community. Like, y'all just look like leeches. It's horrible. I'm over it. I'm so over it. The gloves got to come off.
Showing that it's okay to treat black and brown people wrong, and it's not. My son loved everybody. He would tell me, like, oh, mom, you're being judgmental. You shouldn't do that. That's against God. And the devil shot him dead, and he laid right there. And we got no justice from South Carolina. And I think it is disgusting. And I don't even know why. I have no words. But every day I will not be able to speak to my son, hear his voice change, see him grow, go to prom. He will never get married. I would never hold my grandchildren, nothing. But Chow is able to go home with his lion son, Andy Chow, and they're able to have dinner with the wife, Alice, who all three of them came out that store and they chased my baby. And I think the entire family should be held accountable because it was racially profiled. And I
This is this is so sad. It's so sad. I'm going to put the link to this press conference as well as all of the other videos and articles that you've seen here in this video. I'm going to put those in the description box for you to watch them and read the article yourself so you can be informed and spread the word about this story. Start talking about some solutions. Get with lawyers that you know. It really seems to me like we need a new Black Panther Party. So, let me know what y'all think of this story. More content like this, please subscribe to my channel. I have a Patreon where I give early access to content and I share exclusive content there as well. You can become a member for free. Please. I want to build my community over there so I can do more things and produce more engaging content, produce some resources, and I love to have you there. Make sure you sign up to be a member. You'll also get notifications every time I release a video because it's going to come to you first. Let me know what y'all thought about this story, what you think about what I said. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.